when we're fighting from mount, we're looking to go and do a classic cross lapel choke. A cross lapel choke is essentially a pair of scissors that I can use to go and cut off the circulation to Stefan's brain. I want to go and get my hand in as deep as possible and bring my elbow to the ground. And then I want to walk my forearm all the way to the other side, put my head to the ground, find his jacket, and then center Stefan up to be able to go and complete the choke. Once again, a scissor is what we're looking to employ, and a scissor is a form of a lever. So I'm using both of my forearms as levers to be able to go and attack Stefan. Once again, winning the jacket with the thumb onto the inside, fist all the way to the ground. I'm then gonna go and walk my hand as if I was drawing a rainbow over Stefan's head. Head goes to the ground for additional support, finding the top of his jacket, centering in my body for the cross lapel choke from mount. Fighting with Stefan from my closed guard, we're looking to go and do a cross lapel choke from the closed guard, thus employing a scissoring action with both of my forearms. A scissor is a form of a lever, and that's how we're going to choke out Stefan. Opening up the jacket, getting 4 fingers in as deep as I possibly can. I can use my legs to be able to go in and break Stefan's posture. Once I have his posture broken and I have my hand in as deep as I possibly can, then I'm going to fish my hand underneath my own forearm, find the far collar, and then from here, once I have this, I'm now going to go bring my head over top of his head in order to go and execute the choke. The way that scissors work is not from the blades being askew like this. The blades need to look and act as if they are sharpening one another. So a common mistake with this particular choke is that the collar, the first hand comes over the face and then the hand is towards the neck. My forearms need to be touching in order for the scissoring action to work. So thus, I need to go break Stefan's posture down a little bit, get that first collar in as deep as I possibly can, and as I win the angle, I can then fish my second hand inside. I want my head over top of my hands as I execute the choke. But my forearm, thank you so much, Stefan. My forearm is sliding across my other forearm in order to go and execute the choke, much like a pair of scissors. Attacking Stefan from the back with the most powerful lapel choke that we have, and that's the bow and arrow choke. Firstly, my thumb goes onto the inside and I win that jacket with my overhook hand. I'm then going to go and tighten this up as best as I possibly can. I'm then going to go and win a perpendicular position on Stefan. The way that I want to look at the bow and arrow choke is that it's a paper cutter, meaning that Stefan's neck is a sheet of paper. My forearm is the blade of the paper cutter, and my hip is the base of the paper cutter, meaning that his head that kind of sticks out, I want to bring my elbow into my hip, thus cutting off the circulation to his neck. But I want to imagine cutting off a slice of paper with that paper cutter. Done again from the back. We are looking to go control the collar with the thumb on the inside. We want to tighten this up the best that we possibly can. I drop a hook, fish the hook across. I want a perpendicular position. I maintain that perpendicular position with my elbow underneath the knee. My hip is on the back side of his neck, and then his head is the strip of paper that I want to cut off, and then I want to see the base of the paper cutter being my hip, and then the lever of the paper cutter being my forearm, and that's the blade of the paper cutter, and that's where we're going to go and do that choke. Fighting on top turtle with Stefan here, we're going to go for the clock choke, and what we want to see is, once again, a series of levers. Imagine Stefan being a sheet of paper. This is the base of a paper cutter. My forearm is the blade of the paper cutter. I want to be as heavy as I possibly can, so that way the blade and then the base of the paper cutter align. And then I'm able to go and hit the clock choke. A common mistake with the clock choke is for the base to be misaligned with the blade, meaning that the blade is over top of the piece of paper, but the blade is just too far away from the base. And then as I do the clock choke, note how really nothing happens. Of course, this is uncomfortable for Stefan. I want my rib cage to be laid over top of his neck, and then I'm able to go and hit that clock choke. So think of the clock choke. Thank you so much, Stefan. Think of the clock choke as a paper cutter. Now let's add some more details as to how we would go and execute the clock choke. Firstly, I'm perpendicular, Stefan, and I'm facing his head. I want to open up the far collar, and then I want to feed my thumb onto the inside. I want my thumb as close to his neck as possible. I don't want it all the way down to his jacket, but I want to see my thumb as a knife that's going to be able to go and eventually sever his neck. I can grab the wrist, or I can go and think of my hand stabbing into his far thigh, both of which are totally fine. Now I want to go and bring my rib cage and saddle it over top of Stefan's head, and I walk my legs as if they were the hands of a clock, hence the term clock choke. It is because my legs walk in this circular manner in order to go and eventually finish the choke.